Good morning Year 3 and welcome to day 2 of our focus on calculation. First of all, I'll give you the answers to yesterday's problems. You will need to pause the video, hopefully that will make sense. If you didn't manage to do these or you have any problems with the answers, or I'll just cover that up while I say this, there is a Year 3 maths blog set up on Purple Mash, so if you notice that I've made any mistakes or you don't understand anything, please feel free to pop something on there and I will be able to answer your questions. So get ready with your timer for today's Fluent in 5 and give yourself 5 minutes to have a go at these. And here are the answers to today's Fluent in 5. So today we're going to continue focusing on calculation. Yesterday we had a look at this column addition in our recap. And I just want to look at today about some ways that we can check our answers when we are carrying out column addition, column subtraction, etc. So we haven't covered this much in Year 3, but we're going to look at rounding. So rounding is a way of making a number simpler, but still close to its original value. And when we round a number, we say which number it is nearest to. So it might be to the nearest 10, the nearest 100, or the nearest 1,000. And to round, we look at the digit in the column next to the one you're rounding to. And there's a little rhyme. If the digit is 5 or more, let it soar. So we round up. If it's less than 4, we slide to the floor and we round down. So let's look at an example and that should hopefully make it easier. Here's my original calculation. 278 plus 435. Now, there was quite a bit of regrouping involved in this, so I had to really carry out the proper column addition to get my answer. However, sometimes you might be asked to give an estimate of an answer. So you might be given this number sentence and asked to estimate the answer. And to do that, you can round the number to the nearest 100 or the nearest 10. So if we look here, we've looked at our number 278 and we want to round it to the nearest 100. So we look at the tens column. The tens column is 7, so it's more than 5. So we round up to the nearest 100, which is 300. The bottom number 435, we look at the tens column again, and it's 3 less than 4. So we slide to the 4 and we round down to the nearest 100, which is 400. If we're rounding it to the nearest 10, we look at the ones column. It's 8, so we're going to let it soar because it's 5 or more, so we would round this up to 280. And our ones column and the bottom number is 5, so again 5 or more, let it soar, we round up to 440. And it just makes it a bit easier, so we know 300 and 400 straight away, 700. 280 plus 440, slightly trickier, but again, easier than adding 278 plus 435. And it's just a good strategy to use when you are checking answers quickly. So if you carried out a test and you'd done this column addition, as you're going through checking, which we always tell you to do, if you'd looked at this and just done a quick round of the hundreds and your answer was 7,000 and you've got your answer is 713, it gives you just a quick check to know that you've written the wrong answer and that you need to re-look at this column addition properly. So it's a good way to check and estimate. We can also use a number line to help us. So rounding 432 to the nearest 10. Here's my number line, between 430 and 440. Straight away I can see 432 is only 2 away from 430, 8 away from 440. So I know the nearest 10 is 430. And if I'm looking at hundreds, 680. The hundreds either side of 680 are 600 and 700. And straight away on a number line, I can see that 680 is nearer to 700 because it's 2 steps away as opposed to 8 steps away or 20 away as opposed to 80. So if you're struggling with rounding, if you put it on a number line, it helps you to understand which of the hundreds or tens it's closest to. So it can help us make a quick check that our answers are correct. If we're adding 417 plus 290, if I've rounded it to the nearest hundred, my answer is 700. Then when I check the answer, do the calculation properly, 707, I can see that I'm most likely correct because my answers are quite close together. Here's just a few more examples of rounding to the nearest 100 and the nearest 10, just to help you see how that's been done. So today's task is rounding numbers. I'd like you to round all of these numbers to the nearest 10 and all of these numbers to the nearest 100. Go back to that slide or maybe make a note of it. 5 or more, let it soar, we round up. Less than 4, slide to the floor, round down. And then just a few problem solving questions here. What numbers could be rounded to 230? So it might be worth writing a number line to help you with these ones. Some mixed up sentences, so you need to draw the lines to show whether it's being rounded to the nearest 10, nearest 100, nearest 1,000 and what the answer is. And then I would like you to use some rounding to estimate the answers and then column addition to calculate the precise answer, just to see how close your estimate is. And I'll give you the answers to those tomorrow.